In order to sign up and create an account with PixelsHR, please head over to pixelshr.co.uk. Once you arrive at the homepage, select Login. And from here, select Sign Up. This will take you to this page where you will fill out all of your information, and once you have done this, select I am not a robot, and then sign up. From there, you will receive an email from PixelsHR support team to say that they are delighted to inform you that your company has been successfully created. In order to proceed from here, please click the following link. This following link will allow you to set up a new password that will be used and assigned to your specific company. Select Confirm Password and head straight to the login. And your company has now been successfully created. From here, select the arrow and head straight into the system. You will need to update these company details, so everything with a red star by it requires input. So you will enter your company registration number, the type of company you are, the address, your email address, and any additional info that will be required of you. From there, select Update. In order to gain full access to our services, you will need to purchase a package. In order to do so, please select Click here. Now, when you scroll down, you will see 3 pricing plans: Standard Plan, Professional Plan, and Enterprise Plan. For this example, I will be using the Professional Plan. If you have just 5 employees, go ahead and select Subscribe straight away, as this will give you the correct pricing for 5 employees, which is the minimum amount of employees you would need to have a subscription with us. If you have more than 5 employees, please select the drop-down, select 6+, then select Subscribe. If you have more than 6 employees, please select Quantity and input the correct amount of employees that you have for your business. Then select Update. Once you've adjusted the quantity, the pricing plan will adjust to the amount of employees that you have. Please fill out the rest of the details with the relevant information, then go ahead and select Pay and Subscribe. You have now successfully created your PixelsHR account. In order to set up your account and onboard your first employee, you will need to do a number of things. Please head into your company administrator account, and from there, head straight to Settings. You will need to complete these company setup tasks. Everything that has review required will require reviewing. Once you head into the tabs that require reviewing, you will check to see if these settings are correct and suit your business purposes. If they are, please go ahead and select Yes. If they are not, feel free to either edit, delete, or create a new setting. Once you have done that and they meet your business requirements, go ahead and select Yes. Now, you head back to the settings. Please complete this for everything that has review required next to it. And once you have done that, you are then ready to onboard your first employee. After you have completed all of your company setup tasks, you are now ready to onboard your first employee. In order to do this, you will head over to Employee Hub.
Then you will select Manage Employees. It will take you to this page where you will need to click Invite Employee to add your first employee. Select Invite Employee and fill out the relevant details. Once you have completed the relevant information, you will go ahead and select Save and Continue. This will then take you to the next page whereby you will set up the employee's working schedule. Here you will select the days that they are meant to be working and whether they are allowed a break. Once you have set up these limitations and these hours that they are meant to be working, you can go ahead and select Save and Generate Timesheets. Now that you have successfully created your first employee, that employee will then receive an email to say that their user account has been successfully created. In this email, they will have to click a link. And once they've clicked that link, it will take them to this page to confirm their email. They will then need to copy their temporary password and head to the next email, which details that their email address is their username and that their account has been verified. From here, simply head over to PixelsHR, select Login, and enter the employee's username and their temporary password, and this will give them access to the system. From here, they will have the chance to change their password. And that's their password successfully changed. They can head to home, and now they have successfully logged into their employee portal. You have now onboarded your first employee and require documents from them. There are two ways to do this. Now, if you require documents from your employee upon them being onboarded to the system, then head over to Settings, scroll down to Document Requests, and what this will allow you to do is it will allow you to request documents from your employee once they have logged into their employee portal. So it'll be one of the first tasks that they will need to complete. From here, they will be able to select the task and upload the documents as an attachment themselves and then submit it for review. The other way to do this is to head over to Employee Hub, select Manage Employees, then head over to Employee Management. From here, select Documents, then select Request New Documents. What this will allow you to do is it will allow you to request a document from your employee and set a due date. So say, for example, you require a document from your employee by the end of the week. You simply select the due date for the end of the week, which will be the 24th of October, and then submit the request. Now from here, you will change the document status to requested, then either select if it is an internal document or a compliance document. For this example, we're going to use a compliance document. Compliance documents are documents that may be things such as passport documents, certificate of sponsorships, most things that require monitoring just in case they expire pretty much. Now from here, you will tick the compliance box, then submit the request. There are two ways to upload a document. Either your employees can self-serve themselves, or you can upload the document as an attachment yourself. If you was to upload the document as an attachment to yourself, you will select Update Employee Documents and simply add the document as an attachment. From here, if the document is a compliance document and requires an expiry date to be inputted, please input the expiry date. Then once this has been done, select Is this document verified? And tick the box and submit the document. In the case that you want your employee to self-serve themselves, you will untick this box and simply submit the request. Once the request has been submitted, Your employee will receive the request in their employee portal, upload the document, and it will come back to you to review. In order to review the document, you will head over to Employee Hub, Document Review, and you will see the document awaiting review. From here, you will have the chance to review the document and make sure that it is all good and compliant with your business. Then you will select that the document has been verified and it will change the status to active. From here, you will be able to add the expiry date, then submit the document. Now that the document has been submitted, once you head over back to the employee's management and select documents, you will see that the document is now in an active status. When you've logged into the portal as an employee, one of the first things you will notice is that there will be a kind yellow box at the very top of the page suggesting that you should kindly update and submit your personal details in the profile section for your HR records. In order to do this, simply navigate to the left-hand side and select Profile. Once you're here, scroll down, select Submit Details, select Fill Now, and enter in the details as required. Once that has been done, you will see a button to say Submit. Just select it again, and then it should allow you to submit it straight to your profile manager, which will be your HR manager. You'll also see this note here to let you know that it has been completed. Once you have completed your profile, you will need to upload some documents as part of your onboarding process. In order to find the documents that have been requested from you, head over to the left-hand side and select My HR Hub. From here, select My Documents. And here, you will find a list of documents that have been requested from you. Now, apart from the onboarding process, in any event that your HR manager says that they have requested a document from you, here is where you will find them. Now, from here, you'll be able to see the ones that have been requested and the ones that require update. In order to update a document, simply select Update, read the document description, and add the document as an attachment. Once you select Update, it will show that the document is under review, as you can see here. This means that your document has been uploaded and been sent off to your HR manager to review the document and verify that the document is okay to be assigned to your name and your agreements list. In the case and event where you want to upload a document that has not been requested from you, simply select Add New Documents in the top right corner, select the document type, enter the document title, add the document as an attachment, and simply submit the document. The same process as before will occur. Your HR manager will verify the document and make sure that it's all okay, then simply approve the document and it will be found in your agreements list. Now that you have onboarded your first employee, you will need to update their personal details. In order to do this, you will head to Employee Hub, select Manage Employees, and you will find your first employee here. Now, in order to update their details, you would need to select Employee Management. Here you will find the first box which says Additional Info. This will allow you to enter their sensitive information and update all of their sensitive information as well. From here, if you head over to View and Edit Profile, you are then able to also update their profile. So this will allow you to add extra details, their work email address, and things such as their payroll number as well. If you scroll down, you will also have the chance to update their bank details, their contact details, and you can also manage their login details from here as well. In order to update their details, simply click on the pencil tool, and this will allow you to edit and update their personal details. Once you have checked and verified that their details are correct, you can simply select Update, and this will fully update In order to use leave management, please head down to Settings. Then select Leave Settings. Please make sure that all leave settings align with your business. So make sure that the leave types are leave types that your business will use. If you are not happy with them, please make sure to either edit them or remove them, or alternatively, create the most relevant one for your business. Please select the leave reasons and make sure that the leave reasons are aligning with your business as well. Once again, please edit, remove, or create a new one that may align with your business. And the same thing goes for the overtime leave types. From here, you want to head over to Employee Hub, back to Manage Employees, into Employee Management, then select Leaves. Now from here, you'll be able to add the new leave allowance and select the ones that you have configured to your business and allow leave booking. You will set the start and the end date, so that will be, for example, the beginning of the year to the very end of the year, then submit the new leave allowance. And it should be set up like so. Now, there are two ways to apply for leave for your employee. The first way is to do it through an admin account for your employee, or alternatively, you can allow your employees to self-serve themselves. In order to do it from the admin account, you will stay here and you will select Apply for Leave. This will then allow you to select the type of leave that they are requesting for, the start, the end date, the reason for leave, and which supervisor to notify. You will allow, obviously, for comments as well to be made and who the work will be handled by whilst they are gone. And this should allow them to apply for leave. Now that the leave has been applied for, once you head over to Leave Approvals in Leave Management, you will find the leave pending approval. In order to approve the leave, select the blue button and review the request details. From here, add any comments that are applicable and either decline or approve the leave. Once the leave has been approved successfully, it will show in the Approved tab, and if you head over to the leave calendar, you will find the leave in the calendar. The other way for your employees to request for leave is to self-serve themselves. So here I am in the employees portal, and if I head over to my HR hub and select personal leave bookings, I can see my leave balance and how many days of leave I've used, and then I can also apply for leave as before and submit my application. And that will then come through to my admin's leave approvals, and they will either approve or decline the leave. How to request leave as an employee. To do this, head over to the left-hand side and select My HR Hub and go down to Personal Leave Bookings. From here, you will see a number of things in relation to your leave bookings. For example, you'll be able to see pending approvals, the leaves that have been approved, and then the ones that have been rejected. In order to see your leave balance, go ahead and select leave balance, and this will show you the amount of days you have been allocated for the year in regards to your leave. It will also show you the amount of days you've taken from your allocated amount. From here, select Apply for Leave. This will allow you to apply for leave and send a request to your HR manager to approve or decline the leave. Once you have filled out the details, the dates will show on the right-hand side. If you want to adjust these dates, select the drop-down, and this will allow you to select either half of the day, whether it be the morning or the afternoon. If you want to keep it a full day off, then leave it at full day. From here, you will have the chance to enter any notes that you need to, and simply select Apply for your leave to be applied. From here, you'll be able to see the further details of the leave, and it will come under as a pending approval. How to complete your timesheets as an employee. To do this, head over to the left-hand side and select My Time Management. From here, you will be able to select Timesheet Entry. This will allow you to view all of the timesheets that have been generated for you to complete. In order to complete a timesheet, first you have to select the sort of work you was working. So for this example, we'll use internal work. Select the task name. For this example, we'll just type in work and then add. This will then allow you to input the hours that you have worked over the course of the week. Once you have completed this, the amount of hours should match with your total hours here. From here, either save and complete it later or just submit it straight away. Once you have clicked submit, simply enter the number of hours declared, add any comments that you require to, and then submit the timesheet. And from there, your timesheet has been successfully submitted. How to set up personal tasks. Now, in order to do this, please head over to Time Management and all the way down to Personal Task. From here, select Create New. This will allow you to enter the name of the task, the type of task it is, and the priority of the task. You can then link this to a manager, for example, set a due date, let's say for the end of the week, and allocate it to a particular employee. For this example, we'll use example 2. Now you are able to enter the description of the task and what the task entails. And for additional information, you can schedule the task to start at a certain time and to end at a certain time and assign it to a particular checklist. From here, you can tick to say that it is a compliance task and that it requires an employee signature once the task has been completed. Then simply submit. This will then show on the employee's homepage as a task for them to complete. If you head over to Home, as an admin, you will see on your homepage dashboard pending personal tasks. You can view the task, you can make comments on the task, and add any attachments that you require to the task as well. Then you can go ahead and click that the task has been completed. How to set up a personal task as an employee. In order to do this, head over to the left-hand side and head over to My HR Hub. Select My Personal Task and quite simply select My New Tasks. From here, you can set a task name, the type of task it is, and set the priority as well. With this, you can add a description of what the task is. So for example, what the task entails, what needs to be done, how soon it should be done, and quite simply select Create. That will now show as an active task for you to complete. If you go ahead and click the Edit button, you are able to head back to those details and update those details. And if you select Task Code, you are then able to add any comments that you require, add any attachments and files that you need to, and then simply select Completed to say that it has been completed. How to use the clock in and clock out feature. Now, in reference to the previous video when you were setting up your employee, please make sure that you have set their payroll source as clock in and clock out. Now, to set up clock in and clock out effectively, you will need to set up a work location. To do this, please head over to Settings. Scroll down to Work Locations And as you can see here, we already have one set up. Now, in order to create a new work location, simply select Create New. This will allow you to set up a new work location and set a radius around the location. Like so. Once you have filled out all of the details, the work location will have a pin attached to it. From here, if you wanted to set up a geofence radius, then you would simply enter the kilometers that you would like around the radius. Now, what a geofence radius does is that it ensures that your employees can only clock in and out of a particular radius around your work location. To do this, simply set up the radius. So I will choose 10 kilometers around the radius and simply tick the box to say enable geofence. Then simply submit. And that is now my work location set up. From here, head over to time management, select clock in, clock out, and here you will find your employees waiting to be clocked in. Now, there are two ways for your employees to be clocked in to a work location. The first way is through the admin portal, whereby you can do it yourself by simply selecting clock in for the employee, select the location that they will be working at, the project that they're working on. So for example, this will be internal work, which is just working on site. These are settings that you can also change in the settings as well. And then simply select clock in. And you will see that they are underneath the clocked in tab. Alternatively, in the employee's own portal, they will be able to click and select start shift, and this will simply clock them into the location that they are meant to be working at. As simple as the same time before, select the location, select the project that they are working on, and start shift. Employees will have the opportunity to also select when they start their break, select the type of break that they are working on, and then also be able to end the break as well. From here, end shift. In order to create a project and assign it to a client or a vendor, please head over to projects on the left-hand side. Once you click projects, go ahead and select vendors. Here is where you will create a client or vendor to assign them to a project. In order to do this, simply select Add New. From here, you'll create a code and input the client's name. You will then select the status and tick if it is a client or a vendor. You will then add the address details and the contact details, and from here submit the information, and this will create your client. Now from here you will need to assign a client to a project. So head back to projects and select projects, then select add new project, and this will allow you to create a project to assign to the client. Now from here, you will select the start and the end date of the project. For this example, we'll use a year's time. And from here, we can either allocate it to all employees, or alternatively, if you would like to allocate it to specific employees, I will show you how to do that later. Now from here, to assign it to the client, select do you want to update client details. From here, you'll click the drop-down box and assign it to the client and simply submit. This will now create the project and assign it to your new client. From here, you'll be able to head into the project and you will be able to upload project documents, set milestone targets, and allocate specific employees. Simply to do this, just click the green button that says Add Employee and allocate it to any one of your employees that have been onboarded onto the system. You will also be able to see tasks that have been assigned to your employees and that are allocated to this project, and you'll be able to add the project billable rates as well as the activity around the project you'll be able to see. To set up a job and have new applicants apply to roles for your business, please head over to Recruitment and Leads. From here, select Recruitment. Now, in order to create a new job, you will simply select Create New. You may input the Home Office occupation code. And from here, select the type of work you are creating a job for. For this example, I will use a full-time position. I will add the compensation, the working hours, and the work location. I will then show and input the number of open positions and the status as however I see fit. So for now, I'll put it as an active status. I can then edit the description and edit the additional information if I need to, and then assign this to an internal employee. For this example, I'll assign it to my HR manager. Scrolling down, I would then input the start and the end date of the. For this example, once again, I'll let the job run for 1 week and then add any attachments that I will need to. And then from here, I will then save the job details. Now that this job has now been successfully created, I can take the portal link and paste this link wherever I need to, and this will allow anybody to apply for roles with my business. Now, when somebody applies for a role and submits a full application, I will be able to see the details of the applicants through here. This will allow me to manage the applicants, create notes on the applicants, and also send out job offer confirmation letters to successful applicants. How to use policies and agreements. First things first, you want to head over to Policies and Agreements and select Company Information. Please ensure that all of your company information is correct and up to date. If you need to update or edit your company details, please select Edit Company Info, fill out the required changes, and select Update. In the case that you want to use your own company documents that you have been using prior to coming to the PixelsHR system, then select Company Documents and select Add New. This will allow you to copy your company's document content into the system. Once this has been done, select Save. It will be available for you to use as company documents. Now, in the case that you want to use our documents and templates, please head over to Policies and Agreements. Then select Resource Library. And you will have access to all of our policies as well as all of our agreements. Now, if you want to use one of these agreements for your employees to sign, then select one of the agreements. For this example, I will be using employment contract and offer letter. select View Document, or on the right hand side that the document content is in line with how your business operates. Checked and establish this, please read the disclaimer and select I have read and accept. Then go ahead and select Copy Document. Now, once this has been done, select Policies and Agreements and head over to Legal and Policy Hub. Then go ahead and select Agreements. In the Draft section, you will find the document that you just copied available for you to view. If you're all happy with how the document is and all of the content of the documents, go ahead and select Activate Document. And what this will do is it will move the document to an active status. Once this has been done, head over to Agreements under Policies and Agreements. And here you will be able to send out the document that you had just copied to any one of your employees for them to do an e-signature. Once they have done the e-signature on the document, it will be available for you to view in their agreements list. In order to do this, please select Create New and scroll down to the document that you copied. In order to assign this document to an employee, select Primary Signatory and select the employee that you would like to assign this document to. Once this has been done, select Next. Then select Send for Signature. This will allow the document to be sent off to the employee, where they will be able to sign it with an e-signature and send it back across to yourself. Now, once the document has been signed by your employee, if you head back over to Agreements, you will see the document and its details on the list. Once it has been signed by the employee, you will now be able to publish the document so that it is available within their agreements list. Simply select the green arrow, select Continue, and the agreement will now be successfully published. In order to generate a report on the system, head all the way down on the left-hand side to Report. This will give you a list of general activity that takes place on the system for you to generate a report on. Simply to generate a report, please follow the filters along the top. Select the dates that you require the report from and to. Fill out the rest of the filters if required and select Search. This will instantly generate the reports that you require, and you will be able to either download it to Excel or download it to a CSV. From there, you will be able to export this or pass this on to who you need to pass it on to. Another way to generate reports is to head over to Employee Hub. Once you reach Employee Hub, select Manage Employees, and for a particular employee, select Edit Profile. Here you will be able to download a status report of the particular employee in order to use for your own purpose. To do this, simply select Status Report. What this will do is it will generate a full status report for you to use, which can be downloaded and exported to Excel or alternatively a CSV. It can also be downloaded as a PDF file. Head over to the left-hand side and scroll down to Asset Management. Here you'll be able to create new assets, track and manage those assets as well. In order to do this, head over to the top right corner and select Create New. Here you have a chance to fill out the details of the asset, add any purchase details, any other information, the recycling information, and if a signature is required. You have created the new asset. It will show up on your asset management list. You may now allocate the asset to an employee. To do this, scroll down to Asset Allocation, select Create New, and allocate the asset to your employee. You're able to set an expiry date if required, add any comments that are important, sign the asset allocation. If you require to make any notes about the asset, head over to Asset Notes, select Create New, and simply fill out the details. Select a reminder date, or if the reminder has been completed, add any comments required, and submit. To access the Asset Management dashboard, scroll down to Asset Management, select Dashboard, and you'll have full access to the Asset Management dashboard. This will give you further information of how your assets have been allocated, how they've been categorized, the allocated assets by employee, and the assets name count. Select Back to Assets and export to Excel if you require further information, and export to Excel if you require this information to be sent across to anyone else. To use Service Management, head over to the left-hand side and select Service Management. Now, there are a few things you'll need to set up before using Service Management. Head over to Clients and create a client. To do this, head over to New Client, enter your required company code, the company name, the contact name at the company of your client. Scroll down to Site Information and select the site type. Now, in order to add a site type, if you do not find your required one there, head back over to Service Management, down to References, and select Create New. This will allow you to create a code and a name, then select site type, then save. Once this has been created successfully, you may head back to Clients, select Create a New Client, and you will find your site type there. Once the rest of the details are okay for you, go ahead and select Create Client. Now that your client has been created successfully, you can either edit their details or just leave them as they are. From here, select the client's name, and if you need to add any further sites, feel free to do so by selecting New Sites. If you need to add any preferred employees or block any employees, you can do that by adding new employees. Same for communications, contracts, default billing, any documents, and you will be able to see the tasks assigned to the client. Head back over to Service Management and select Contracts. Now you need to assign a contract to a client. To do this, select Add Contract. From here, select your ready-made client and select the site. From here, enter a contract name and a start as well as an end date. If you need a contract description, feel free to enter this now, then scroll down to site details. From here, you will need to select a product or a service that you are providing to the client. You will need to select a scheduler group and the team. To set up product or services that your business may be providing to any clients, head back over to Service Management, down to Product/Service, and simply select Create New. To create a scheduler group, head to Service Management, scroll down to Scheduler, and select Add New Group. And to create a team, head over to Settings, select Company Teams, and simply create New. Once all three of these settings are done, you are able to select the site details. From here, add any operational notes or fill in any details that are required and adjust the toggles based on your preferences. Then select Save and Next. Once that has been done, the next page will allow you to further manage the contract details, add any subtasks, any breaks, any preferred/blocked employees, any required skills, reoccurring settings, billing settings, or documents. Now that you've completed contracts, head back over to Service Management, select Jobs or Tasks Lists, select Add New, and this will allow you to add or create tasks assigned to. From here, select the client site. If you want to link this to an existing site contract, please do. Add a description, and you will now be able to allocate this to either a particular employee or make it an open shift, a claimable shift, or a claimable shift with manager approval. Is assigning this to a particular employee. From here, select the task date. And if it is an all-day shift or not. If it's not an all-day shift, please enter the start and end time of the shift. Then select Save and Next. If you're happy with the details, please select No, Go to List. If not, select Yes, Show Details, and this will allow you to further review the details of the task that you had just created. Now that this has been done, you are able to head back over to Service Management, select Scheduler, and in your scheduling group that you have created, select Access Schedule, and you will see the shift available for the employee.